Good evening, everyone. Hi. We are in Sedona, and I have the wonderful Aurora in my presence as we're lounging around here in Chocolate Tree. Yeah. Thanks for being here, Missy.
Thank you.
I'm super excited to ask you some questions.
Okay.
And it's about our moon cycle, ladies. And, in the last year, no, how about 2 to 3 years, I've been really curious about my moon cycle, my offering my blood back to Mother Earth and whatnot. So, and I know it's something that you also embody.
Mm-hmm.
And how long have you been doing offering your blood, and how did that all started for you personally?
I think that for myself, I started giving my blood to the earth at least 3 years ago, and that just came from my own spiritual awakening and remembering in my body. I believe strongly that we're all connected to a collective consciousness, but also our past lives, and in our body, we kind of remember what it means to allow our blood to naturally cycle back down to Mother Earth. They say that as the mother feeds us, so we feed her with our life force. Our blood contains our spirit. It contains, within our womb, it has the ability to create life. And so when we bleed, that life goes back to the mother and it creates a cycle. So there is something within us that knows that this is a natural phenomenon. And for women who have never known their blood to be remotely spiritual or healing, and instead something disgusting and something that we are going through pain to deal with, it is incredibly healing to have a practice in which I'm bleeding. This is my ceremony time. This is my time to give it back to Mother. I'm so blessed that I have this connection to Mother Earth.
I love it. I love it. I love your response. I was just like carried away. And I have another question. What kind of connection has it reawakened within you? Like personally, since you've been doing this practice, like what are some of the things that you've either noticed that have been different because of this practice, or I don't know, something that you have felt has been awakened?
A lot of things, because the moon cycle, our blood cycle, reminds us that we as women, and men too, are connected to the universal energy cycles. We are connected to the moon cycle. It also reminds us that we as women go through our dark phases and our light phases, and that's just what we do. You know, oh, I'm having my dark moon time, I'm having my Kali time, I'm having my time, and that's part of being a woman. And then we have our ups and our downs, and when you put it into a context of ceremony, you really embody and embrace it, and it relates back to, you know, these cycles and regenerations within us.
So when you say a ceremony, like what does that mean to someone who isn't, well, to a lot of people, like offering your blood is like, what? Like it's a big, it's not ordinary. So for someone who is looking at doing something like that, what would you recommend doing first, or not even first, but what are some of the things that they can take on as their practice and something you do in your own ceremony?
Well, first, as I say to everybody, first we have to look at why is it that we're so scared of reconnecting to our moon blood? What is it that's gross? And that's obviously something that society has fed into you and said that, well, your moon's gross, you know, so like hide it and wear these giant pads and, you know,
and stick things up.
Things up your vagina, and we don't know exactly what's in it, but what's in the pad, anyway.
That's a whole other conversation.
But my point is that now imagine that you grew up in a society in which your mother said, oh my gosh, how amazing, you have your moon cycle, you're a woman, let me teach you how to give it back to the earth. This is something that's sacred. It comes from your womb, and your womb has the capability to create life. That is amazing. That's what makes you a woman. So realizing that, and that can be a woman who says, you know what, like I'm tired of not giving myself this time for ceremony. How awesome is it that, and what I mean by ceremony is that once a month, this is your time to just focus on you. This is your time to give something that is sacred within your body back to the earth. And your time to commune with the Mother Earth. It's your time to say, hey, Mother Earth, you know, this is what I'm going through. It's new moon. I've got a new cycle going through in my life. Let me give you her blood and tell you what's going on with me, even though she already knows. And let's create a dialogue. This is your time for you. And it is beautiful for us as women to come back and embrace that. And do it any way you like. There are ways to give your blood back to the earth. So you can either take a tampon out and put it in a cup of water and allow it to the blood to drain into it. So then when you give it to the mother, you just give that blood water. Or you can buy a diva cup, which is a cup that you put into your body. And then you can take that out and give it to the mother. And there's different reasons. And or you can do the same thing with a pad and soak a pad. But the whole point of it, I think the most important point is that you have now created a connection to yourself in which something that you thought was gross is now something beautiful. And it is like, I am woman. How awesome am I that I have a time in my life? I have these 3 to 7 days to just focus on me.
Yeah, I actually do that too. Like, my cycle takes over. Like, she is divine and she takes over my plans. If I had a commitment to be somewhere at this time, it's the only time where I'm like, I'm sorry, but it is feminine divine time, and I just have to honor. And it's been great to allow myself to fully embrace and embody that aspect of myself and start creating and start going within and taking those 3 days to honor myself, because I feel that it's important. Yeah. Cool. Thank you so much.
Thanks, honey.
Anything else you want to say to our viewers?
Yeah, contact me if you have any questions because the blood work is just such a small little part of the entire women's empowerment concept, and I am a women's empowerment activist, believing that we are all priestess, and we just have to remember.
Women's activists, sacred activists. We'll have our info on the videos if you guys want to contact us.
Yep.
Okay,
Send me an email. Bye.
Mwah.